Hello, everybody. This is Jim Feist in Las Vegas, and also here in Las Vegas, Dave Koken. Dave, you are on a tear in Major League Baseball. I don't know what it is. What are you, about 19-2 or something in the last month?
No, it's not that amazing, but it's been real good. I mean, if you're playing all my baseball for a flat 1 unit per game, you're already well into double digits. So, yeah, it's been very good. And, a little more discipline this year. I'm sticking to real strict guidelines as far as value is concerned. And that's the key. Trusting the numbers and finding the value. Don't really care what the so-called sharp money or anything like that does. I just do my own thing. And it's working really well. Let's just knock on wood and hope it continues.
Well, baseball is a very beatable sport. But, it's different than it used to be, but it's still beatable if you do the homework. I'm doing well, not anywhere near as well as you are at the moment, but 2 years ago I had a monster year. Last year was kind of an off year. But, it's the same with every sport. I had a great March in college hoops. And they started off the NBA playoffs, a little cool, coming back now, having a nice streak right now. But it's hit and miss, but you got to keep working, and you got to be able to take the downsides. And right now, Dave, you're on fire, and your plays are up at jimfeist.com each and every day. And, of course, we got the NBA playoffs. just to digress here a little bit. The other night, we saw something happen in the NBA that really hasn't been done very much before, where Utah was up 25 points in the third quarter, and they blew the whole thing, lost the game, and they didn't even cover the spread.
No? Well, it's funny what happened. I lost that game. I lost the play. My play was the Thunder in the first half. So I got killed, and then they ended up winning and covering. That, if you want a nice little angle, and look, they're not all going to win, but it's a good generic angle, is to play a side that's on the brink of elimination in the first half of that elimination game. And if you look at the results so far this year, they've done really well. I think the only loser has been the other night with the Thunder, and then they came back and won the game. So the strategy works. That it just didn't on that particular game, as the Thunder came on in the second half and played lights out. And we'll see what happens tonight. Now, I did not play any of these games because I don't like playing blind angles, and I didn't play it. I might regret that, but you've got three teams that tonight in that system would fit as first half plays: the Wizards, the Pacers, in Oklahoma City. So, if you take all three, I think there's a decent chance you'll go 2-1.
Well, it's the kind of thing you do. If you're a $200 bettor, you might go in and bet $50 on those three spots. And you got the history, you got the statistics, you got the trend, and they're all logical. I don't know what effect blowing a 25-point lead is going to have on Utah, but it has to damage their confidence a little bit. And then and
I'll say it because I don't watch a lot of NBA, but I know what happened in this game. I'm watching baseball and hockey, to be honest with you, because I bet more on those sports. But that fourth foul on Gobert was apparently a terrible call. And then a couple minutes later, they called Favors for his fourth foul. And Utah had to put both guys on the bench, which made sense with the big lead. And they came apart without both those two guys on the floor. In Oklahoma City, Westbrook got hot, took things over, and Rolling Stone gathers no more. So that was true here because it just went all downhill, and they picked up steam and ended up winning the game. So no, I'm not drawing anything out of that. These guys are pros. I think if it was in the colleges, it would have more of a lasting impact. But in the pros, these guys play so many games. It's what they do for a living. I think they just shrug it off and move to the next game.
But don't you think the price on this game is a little bit outrageous? At 6.5.
What wasn't the other games that you thought?
I don't have it in front of me, but it just seems like in a closeout game like this, it opened 5.5. It's up to 6.5.
It is higher.
Yeah.
Let's see, game 4 was it opened 5.5, went to 4.5. In game 3, I can find the damn thing. What was that game 3? No, okay. The first game 3 opened 4, went to 5, and game 4 opened 5.5, went down to 4.5. So yeah, you're gonna pay a premium here with Utah, but maybe the odds makers are telling you what they think by adjusting the number.
I couldn't lay that number personally. I just think that, if it's, I mean, typically at the end of these series, when the games mean so much more in its elimination, you do start to see some more unders. And this game has gone from 206 to 207, 207.5. So both of these lines, the line and the total, is actually moving in a direction that I'm surprised with this game. It's not holding the form for me, but remains to be seen. If I were going to bet it right now, I'd take 6.5 or 7 if I could find it, and I'd probably bet it under. I think those numbers are both inflated, but that's just me.
I don't think it's going to get to 7. Not based on screen I'm looking at right now. I mean, Pinnacle's minus 103 on 6.5. So, that's actually that tells me. I think the only way it could go. I don't think it'll do anything. I think it's just going to sit at 6.5 based on what I'm seeing.
Well, that remains to be seen. It's a late game tonight, 10:30 Eastern and 7:30 Pacific time. So there's a lot of time to that number to move. Major League Baseball. What have you seen so far in Major League Baseball that either positive or negative, shockingly? So, I mean, we know that Boston started out real strong, and we saw Pittsburgh even start out strong, and then they faded. But anything shocking out there to you?
I don't know if it's shocking because it's so early, but the Nationals have been pretty bad. They've had a lot of injury problems. Dave Martinez, their rookie manager, is struggling. Okay, he's made some questionable decisions, and it's funny. Position players often have trouble managing pitching staffs, and I think Martinez is struggling with his bullpen. The Nationals, look, they got a lot of guys out. You want to know why they're struggling more than anything? Adam Eaton's hurt. I don't have my injuries in front of me. Rendon's on the DL. Got a bunch of guys. Unfortunately, I don't have my DL list in front of me, but they're definitely short-handed right now. And you go 3 and 4 guys that are unable to play, particularly when they're guys who see substantial action. It's going to impact the team, no question about that. Other teams that are surprising to some extent, well, look, the Dodgers are not playing good baseball. And you've got, all you have to do is look at the line tonight. You've got Ryu, who looks to be healthy again, against Derek Holland, who's kind of a bottom-of-the-barrel pitcher. And it's only 135 in that range on the Dodgers, so that's reflective of the way they played. Detroit is a pleasant surprise so far. The Tigers were largely considered to be a team that was going to be really bad this year, perhaps the worst team in the American League. But we've seen here that managers make a difference. This team is playing hard baseball. They're playing with a lot of enthusiasm. They've got some younger guys who are starting to have an impact. And the upgrade from Brad Ausmus to Ron Gardenhire is absolutely obvious. I don't think this team liked Brad Ausmus, who was he didn't relate well with his players from everything we heard. And they're playing a lot better baseball this year. The Rangers are as bad as I thought they would be. I think Texas is really awful. And the numbers are starting to catch up on them, but they still haven't really. they're still being priced like they're a bad team, but not a really bad team. Texas could be the second worst team in the American League. That's pretty much it. I think Oakland is an interesting team. They got a lineup that can do some damage against lefties. One thing to keep in mind tonight, though, on that Oakland-Houston game, you got Mania coming up with no hitter. That's a potential bounce situation. And what's not on the injury report, if you look at the current injury report, these guys aren't listed, but their bullpen could be really short-handed tonight. Blake Trinan got hit on the shin with a line drive on Tuesday. I don't know if he's available or not. Brian Booker left Wednesday's game. He pitched to one guy, struck him out, and then left with some shoulder irritation. So one would assume he's not going to be available. Yusmera Petit, who's a very good relief pitcher, who can go multiple innings. He's a versatile guy. His mother died, and he's away from the team on bereavement leave. So the A's bullpen is kind of a mess tonight. Keep that in mind if you're looking for a live bet. In late innings, the Astros should have an advantage this game.
I just mentioned this. You folks out there listening to Dave analyze these games, and you can tell why he's on a hot streak, because he knows what the hell he's talking about. You want to get Dave's picks, you should go to jimfeist.com. They're there each and every day. And as far as Oakland, that opened 190, Houston 190, it's down to 162. So the money has come in that direction.
Jim, that's happened in every game this year where Oakland's facing a lefty. They've gotten the money. And it kind of makes sense. This is a righty stacked lineup. I think Olsen's the only lefty hitter that they generally go with against lefties. They've got some good righty offense. So it's been every game, literally every game this year for Oakland when they face a lefty, they've gotten the money in terms of the betting action.
And you mentioned the Texas team. But here's the strange one on this. Toronto opened 177. It's down to 142. They actually bet on Texas with Minor.
Yeah, he's been pitching well. Mike Minor's been good for Texas, which is a bit surprising to me because he's always been kind of a two-pitch guy, and those guys usually don't make good starters. But he's found something this year. He's added a pitch that seems to be working well for him. I don't know how long it'll continue because the innings might start to pile up, and he might regress to his old form as a starter, which is why they moved him to the bullpen in the first place a couple of years ago. But he is pitching really well, and Stroman has been inconsistent so far for Toronto. Where did I make that line? Let's see. I made the line 155, so it's really where it should be right now.
All right, great. Well, thanks, Dave, for today. Anything you want to promote while we're still on the air?
Yeah, I'll mention that I've got a top dog up tonight, and what that is it's a game where the betting line favorite is opposite my favorite, and there's a price involved. It's not like one of those deals where it's the favorite's minus 110 and my line's 105 the other way. That's those I don't even play because there's not really that much value in it. But this is a game where there is substantial value. I've got my side. I made the line minus 110, and they're getting some decent plus money. I'm not going to tell you what the game is, obviously, but I've had 3 of those so far this season. They've all won, and I think this one will as well.
Well, Dave, you're right. It's all about money. These aren't point spread games where you can you look at a line and say, oh, I'm going to take 7.5. I know they might not win the game, but this is money line betting. That's what we're talking about. That's actually my strength.
There's not much question. When you look at outside of college football, which is still my best sport, I absolutely love college football. And in terms of winning percentage, baseball is my best profit sport because there's way more games. But college football is my best percentage sport. But outside of that, my 2 best sports are baseball and hockey, which are money line sports. I have more success with those than I do with point spread sports like basketball and actually the NFL for that matter.
Speaking of hockey, Dave, wouldn't it be nice if Vegas could find a team that, a good team that we could bring here? My God. What the hell is going on with these guys?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm going to try to cash in. I made 2 bets in this series. I took the Knights minus 135 to win the series, and I also, you have to have offshore accounts to get these because they're just not posted around the state. But I also took the Golden Knights minus 1.5 games in the series at plus. I don't have the account in front of me. It's not on my. It's on my phone. I think it's plus 265. I think is what I got. Minus 1.5 games. So obviously only counts as 1 game last night. But that was boy, what a statement they made. And same thing as we saw in the Kings series. San Jose is not quick enough to stay with this Golden Knights team. They are an extremely fast-skating team. They might be the fastest team in the league, and that is proving to be tremendously important for them in these playoff matchups. Their speed is killing. What's that old speed kills? Well, it is in this series.
Yeah, speed kills the other side. I mean, that was amazing last night. I can't believe it.
Game was over 5 minutes in.
I know.
It's like this is over. It's 3-0. This game's
Have they lost a game in the playoffs yet?
No, 5-0.
My goodness. Wow. Well, Dave, thank you very much. Your plays are up at jimfeist.com. I suggest everybody, unless you just don't like money, don't buy the plays. But if you do like money, you might go on there at jimfeist.com, and our plays are up there every day. So good luck to you, Dave, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good, Jim. Have a great weekend.
You too, Bill.